What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of HermitPack on the HermitCraft server. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode, we changed the base a little bit, and I asked for you guys' feedback, and I got some decent feedback for what we could do to make this look a little bit better. Some people suggested that we use the Chisel and Bits mod to turn like these oak logs up here into stairs, so they kind of match along here. And then I don't know how the stairs would connect to like the regular log right here. We could play around with that a little bit. I haven't actually played with the Chisel and Bits mod at all, so we might be looking at that here in just a second. Another thing, I have been messing around with my tools a little bit more. I put an emerald and a diamond on the ones that didn't have the diamond, but I put an emerald on all the other ones. So yeah, I was kind of messing around to see if we could make any of these tools better. And then I was thinking about, there is the paper parts in here, so we can get extra modifiers for these. So I decided to make myself another lumber axe. Let's go and grab this. So yeah, this is a lumber axe I just made. It has like, I haven't used it at all, but it says paper stone lumber axe. Yeah, so I made it out of like, let's see, we have an iron tough tool rod, a paper broad axe head, stone large plate, and then a paper tough binding. You only put 2 paper pieces on there, so you can get up to writable 2, and then it's like no more, right? So I did that, and then I put like the hastest modifier on there, a diamond and an emerald. And then I was kind of like looking to see, how that compares to my other iron lumber axe. So we have this one here. It says a mining speed of 8.96, right? And then 1052 durability. And this one has way less durability and slightly less mining speed, 8.45 versus 8.96. So right off the bat, without using it and leveling it up at all, the paper stone lumber axe is not terrible. But the iron one that I made completely out of iron parts is better. So it's also leveled up once. I was looking because I know you can replace parts in this mod pack. So like this, let's see, what's a part on here? Like the paper broad axe head. The original idea was that I was going to make them out of paper. I was going to use up all the modifiers and switch off the paper to something else. But in order to swap a part, you need to have a modifier. So I'd have to level this thing up to get one more modifier on there, and then I could swap it out for the iron. I don't know. I think it's good for like right off the bat having a decent lumber axe, but honestly, I think just going straight to the iron like we did here is just the better option. So I don't think we're ever going to be using this. This will just be like a backup or something for later. But yeah, I was just kind of playing around with the different modifiers. And since we've gotten some gold and things along those lines, oops, I left those here. We've gotten gold and things. I just made some of these casts, so we have these for later, so I can use different materials. Like eventually we might want to upgrade a manulin or something. Anyway, so Chisel and Bits. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I haven't played around with that mod at all. I've seen a little bit of it, but I don't really know what I'm doing. So let's look. So I know there's a saw. Yeah, back here. So there's a diamond bit saw, and then there's like these chisels. I don't really know which one we need. I assume a stone chisel should work just fine for cutting wood. That's really inexpensive. Cobblestone and stick. What's iron? Okay, gold and diamond. You know what? Let's just do a diamond. Let's not be cheap about it. Okay, so I know you can cut these just by looking at them somehow. And I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, when you're focusing on there, each little pixel has a thing around it. Interesting. So we could chop off per pixel. I think there's a way you can do that like with a bigger size. Let me go to options, controls, chisels and bits, grid snapped 1/4 cube size, none, large cube. Is there a way to just radial menu, left menu? Aha. So I'm holding alt is what I'm doing right now on the left hand side of my keyboard. So single bit line, plane, connected plane, drawn region, grid snapped 1/8. Let's do 1/4. No, we need bigger than that. Half cube. Is that right? That looks right. All right, well, we got rid of that. And we got bits going everywhere. I guess those are filling up my inventory. Okay, well, that is what that kind of looks like. Now, if we turn these into stairs, yeah, I'm not so sure about that. It might have looked better without doing what I just did here. Yeah, see, these are things that I'm just not that good about. Like, I think it might just be okay if we leave that solid all the way up and make these stairs. if we're gonna do that at all. Man, we got so many of these bits around. Oh my goodness, look at my inventory. That's just so many little pieces. Oh my goodness, that's just gonna fill up my entire storage space, isn't it? I know there's like a bit bag or something that you can put these bits in. I really need to look into this. Like, I don't really know anything about this mod. Oh my goodness, there's just so many around. Wow, okay. Well, anyway, let me look at making, yeah, chiseled bit bag right here. So that is wool around 1 chiseled bit. Let's go ahead and do that. Do we have wool? String, only 19 string. That's not gonna be enough. That is not gonna be enough. Okay, well, let me go ahead and click these bits. I'm gonna clean this up, play around with this for a little bit, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, well, I went around and I found some sheep. We have, yeah, just some around the base. So I got myself a chiseled bit bag. And yeah, this holds so much different bits and things. I was not aware that there were that many bits in a single block, but apparently there are. Anyway, this is the original. This is what we had previously. This is a design that I was thinking where we just turn the logs into stairs up here. I kind of like the way this looks. It does kind of match the rest of the base, right? I mean, these are really simple things that don't really matter, but I think it adds just a little bit more to the base, so I think I kind of like that. The only problem is when you come around to this side, yeah, it still just looks like an oak log across the top. So yeah, I don't know, we could fill this in so there's like a reverse one of those, and this wouldn't be a 3x3, it'd only be like a 1x2 or 1x3 or something when we're done if we do on both sides. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird, but I do like the way that looks. I was experimenting around with this, so instead of just having like, you know, the cutout square, we'd kind of bring it up just a little bit, stair step it up, and that looks okay, but it does, I don't know, it looks kind of weird as well. And then this one over here, we took the cutout, and then I filled in like the middle portion here with the bits that face, I guess, east west instead of up and down. So it kind of looks like the log is it's got the log texture on all the sides, but that's not something we're really ever gonna see. I don't know, just kind of playing around with this. So let me know what you guys think, if there is a better way to do this, something I'm not really thinking about. I've never really used this mod before, so this is my first attempt at doing anything with it. I did see that you can grab bits though. If you don't know, you can grab bits. If you hold them in your hand, you can hold shift and then scroll your mouse wheel, and then you can do all sorts of crazy things like spam them around if you want and make weird constructions like this. This might be cool for just putting debris around. Like if you wanted to have a tree and you wanted like tree roots and stuff, that would look pretty cool, I think, right? I'm not personally into that kind of detail work, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this mod that you can't really do with any other. Well, you can't do it in vanilla for one, but you can't do it with any other mod, I don't think, in modded Minecraft. So a lot of really neat stuff. I have the chisel right now set to plain. Hey, you can hold shift and scroll this as well, or do alt, and then you can do one of these things. I guess we could do something like a one of those, and that should get rid of these things a little bit faster instead of doing the plain. Anyway, yeah, that's just kind of what I've been messing around with. People are saying we should use chisel and bits for this. This is what I came up with. Let me know if there's better design, something I'm not really thinking about. Yeah. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and move on to something else. So, I keep going to the Nether because I keep needing blaze rods. We keep running out. I keep going back there. We keep running out. The cycle never ends. So let's set up a blaze spawner. Seems like a good idea to me. So we're going to do like we've done in the last couple of times. We're going to just do a powered spawner from Ender.io. But one thing that we're going to do to kill mobs, this is a thing that was added from the update that we just had. Extra Utilities 2 got their spikes back. Yeah. And it looks like we got some different types here. Stone spikes, I don't believe we ever had before. And there's creative spikes. I don't know what those do. So in 1.7.10, we were able to take these spikes and enchant them. Yeah, you can put them on an anvil with a book and give them an enchantment. And then, like, you'd always get looting 3 whenever you killed a monster or whatever. I'm curious if that still works. We don't have the looting 3, but I think we can get that. Not really that big of a deal. I don't really know what stone spikes does. It doesn't have a tooltip. Wooden reduces health to half a heart, but doesn't actually kill a monster. Great for experience farms, I guess. Iron spikes kill monsters, but slower. Gold is a little bit faster, I think. But mobs drop experience. I guess the iron don't make them drop experience. And then the diamond spikes, mobs drop player kill only items. So that's pretty cool. So we're probably gonna make a couple of these player kill only diamond spikes. They're not that bad. Some diamond swords, some diamonds, and diamond blocks. And you get 4 of these, which seems a little overpowered in my opinion, but you know, whatever, we'll go with it. So we'll be able to make 4 of those with, you know, that amount of stuff. Pretty cool. We're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna move the blaze. We're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna power the mob farm, because those Ender IO spawners are expensive, right? We'll have to figure out how to get the items, how to collect the experience. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So let me go and get some things together. I'm gonna try and use that Ender Dungeon Finder, get ourselves another broken spawner. We have like 13 of these remaining, so I should be able to find something. I'll go get myself another broken spawner, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. Well, I've been doing some things off camera here. I went ahead and I put in a complete grass floor in this other area. I think we're going to end up putting the spawner back here in this corner for now. Well, I say for now. It's probably going to just be there for forever if we place it there, right? So that's probably where our blaze spawner is going to end up going. I did go to the Nether and I did all the things, and we got a blaze powered spawner. We've seen this in the last couple episodes, so I just went ahead and skipped through that. I did make some other things here. So I made our diamond spikes that we were talking about. I made some conveyors. We made the slow conveyors. There's the regular speed ones that are used, or that have gold in the recipe. We don't have a lot of gold. And then the other ones use diamonds in the recipe, and yeah, those are kind of expensive. So we went with the slow conveyors for now. If we need to speed it up, we'll speed it up a little bit later. Then I also made an enchanter, because I am curious to see if we can enchant the spikes, if we can put enchantments on there. So let's go ahead and set this thing down. The enchanter itself is fairly inexpensive. It's some dark steel, 2 diamonds, and then a book, right? So that's not so bad. The enchanter is really awesome because you can pick from a list whatever you want to enchant a book from, and then you can enchant that enchantment on there. So if you want protection, auto smelt, you know, XP boost, whatever. We're probably going to be looking for looting, I think. Respiration, that'd be nice. Yeah, you can go through here and pretty much get the best of the best enchantments for your armor. And then you can change the levels of that depending on how many of the material you put in there. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So sharpness, smite. We'll probably end up putting sharpness on the spikes if we can do that. Looting, that's what we want. So an Enderman head plus some lapis. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Enderman head, plenty of those. Let's grab some lapis. Actually, I'm not sure. Do I need more Enderman heads for the higher tier of looting? Let's go ahead and find that out. Okay, so we need to put a book here. Oh, does it have to be a written book? Ooh, okay, hold on. Book and quill. Book, ink, and feather. Okay, well, that's fine. We got the stuff for that. Let's go ahead and do it this way. Okay, so there's one. All right, so let's see how this works. So we put the book here, we put the lapis here, and we put the Enderman head there, right? So that's going to give us looting 1. So if we would do 2 of them. Aha, so it is the amount of Enderman heads you put on there. So looting 3, can we go looting 4? No, okay. Looting 3 is the highest we can go. We need 27 levels of experience to do that. So let's grab some of our solidified experience. Go ahead and nom on these real quick. So 27 levels. Yeah, that's a little bit expensive. Hopefully we'll have enough experience in the system to be able to do this. Well, I guess we can test it with like a lower quality version of looting anyway. Yeah, we have 133 more though, so just over 2 stacks. I think we'll be able to do. Let's just do a looting 3. And there we go. Okay, so looting 3. There we go. Looting 3 enchanted book. So can we enchant the diamond spike with that? Put the spike here, this here. Uh-oh, it doesn't look like we're able to enchant spikes anymore. Maybe that's the thing that they'll be adding again in the future. I'm not sure, but as long as we got spikes anyway, spikes are able to kill the monsters and probably one of the easier ways to deal with it. You don't have to power them or any of that stuff. Okay, well, we have a looting 3 book for later if they ever do add that feature back. I'm not sure if they will or not. But yeah, I just wanted to check this out. There's a few more things in the enchanter that we can get. Let's see. I think, yeah, soulbound. This is one that's going to be very important. I want soulbound on things like my angel ring. I want soulbound on probably all of my tinker tools. My coin of fortune, definitely. So I'll be going through and doing that as well. Well, how much was it for that? It's an ender crystal, which is a enderman in a soul vial, a vibrant crystal, then 150,000 RF and 6 levels of experience. That's not so bad. So I'll definitely be going through and making a bunch of those at a later time so we can enchant all of our things with Soulbound. Okay, so I still got a few more things to do here before we can get set up. I'll just go ahead and make a room, a spawner area for the blaze. We want to make sure they're contained. I'll put in the conveyors. In fact, let's set these down. I haven't even used these before. Yeah, that works just like a conveyor. Can I like, okay, you can shift on there, kind of like the old extra utilities ones. This is from Simply Conveyors. You can shift on there so they don't push you around. Okay, they move me, so I'm sure they're gonna move mobs. And let me turn off the magnet real quick. And yeah, they move items. I wonder, some conveyors, when they push items like that, they'll deposit into a chest. I'm wondering if those will do that as well, because that would be nice to know. Do we have a chest at all? Just go and grab one of these. All right, just set that down for just a second. Place this guy here. I don't know if that works. I think, what mod is that? That's like, I can't even remember the name of the mod that does that. No, it does not deposit the items into a chest. So these don't work like pipes. They just move items around. So we'll have to have a way to collect items. But it is nice that they're not like jumping all around because they can't go somewhere. They just sit at the end of the conveyor belt. Yeah, that's a lot nicer than things like this used to be. Okay, cool. All right, so those are things we need to know. We need a way to collect the items. The conveyor belts will move items. I like it. All right, guys, so here we go. Here's the basic spawner layout. It is a 9x9 on the inside, so that should give our powered spawner the maximum area to spawn our blaze in. I have the Ender IO conduits directly beneath it, and we put conduit facades on there so you can't see them. I got the conduit running all the way up here into a conduit facade as well. So if I flip this lever, let's see, if I'm holding one of these things and I flip the lever, yeah, you can see the conduits go up there. If I turn off the lever, oh, I guess the rendering's fixed. When I was looking at this a minute ago, I wasn't showing them off. It was just like completely removing the appearance of the facades. I'm sorry, the conduits in the facades over there. But yeah, you can see that turning on and off all the way over here. So that's pretty cool. So we have remote access to turn that on and off. The power cable is coming up to the center as well in that same area, but we don't have that power conduit connected to anything just yet. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get this thing powered. So that's where we're at with that. We have the conveyor belts. Oh, you know what? There's one more thing I need to do with the conveyor belts. I forgot to do this. We have the conveyor belts all pushing forward, but yeah, there's a problem. If a blaze spawns right here, they're gonna go forward and just run and stay right there. So this guy needs to be switched over to one side or the other. Like that should be just fine. So if a blaze spawns here, they'll come over this way and go around and then down and drop on these spikes. Oh, let me off there. Those things hurt a little bit. So yeah, the blaze that spawn, they'll land on these. They'll get pushed forward. Any of the land over here will get pushed over this way. And they drop down onto these diamond spikes. We have 3 of them here. We could set it up so there's only 1, but I think it's just going to be fine just like that. We, made 4 at a time, so we still have 1 left over. We could change it up a little bit later. I think it'll be fine the way it is though. I'm noticing though with the F7 mode, the little red dots, it's showing that there's a spawnable space on top of the spawner, which I'm not sure if that's true or not. Maybe the F7 just doesn't know that mobs can't spawn on glass or inside glass. It's also showing there's another spot here, which I think a torch will fix that. But anyway, the conveyor belts are not spawnable, which is good. So there shouldn't really be any spawnable spots in here. Yeah, I think we should be just fine. So the next things we got to figure out, how are we going to collect the monster drops? What are we going to do with the experience that is dropped? I'm pretty sure, I haven't tried it, that the diamond spikes do make experience. We could get a test subject. We should figure this out. Before we set up anything crazy, let's grab a soul vial. Yeah, I think we're going to experiment on one of our sheep that gave us wool earlier. Can I get that back, please? Thank you. Let's turn that off just so we're not sucking up experience or items. Where did I put that sheep? I put it up here. It was walking around. It was getting a little annoying, so I stuck it up there so it wouldn't be making sound right outside my front door or whatever. Okay, so let's put the sheep right there. Peace out, sheep. It's been real. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, so the sheep does drop experience and items just as I thought that it should. Cool. All right, so we'll go and grab those. Okay, I just want to make sure that we were going to be dropping experience when we put monsters in here or whatever. Okay, so that is good to know. All right, so we do need a way to collect experience. So I was seeing that there was an item called an experience solidifier. This is from Actually Additions. Yeah, so this mod is where we've been using the solidified experience, but you can actually make this stuff, which is awesome. So you'll be able to store experience in solid form. I like that. Okay, so the experience solidifier requires solidified experience, this advanced coil, which is a basic coil, which is redstonia, crystal, and black quartz. We've seen this before. Wrapped with gold nuggets, that's fine. Then we also need this empowered diamantine crystal block, which is these empowered diamond crystals. Yeah. So you get those, it looks like. A diamond goes into the atomic reconstructor, gets shot with the laser, so we make one of those. Then we need an empowerer with some light blue dye, some clay, and a clay block, I guess, to make this. Is there another way to make that? No, that looks like it. So we need to make ourselves an empowerer. How do we make an empowerer? That is iron casing. All right, I think we've seen that before. A display stand, which is authentic green block. I don't know how to say that word. So it's chiseled, I guess, any quartz block, or does it have to be chiseled? I guess maybe it does. With the the laser, and then we need the quartz, which is regular quartz with the laser. Okay, so I guess we do have to chisel that. That's fine. Another advanced coil. Oh my goodness, this is getting a little expensive. Double battery. So we need the single battery, which is advanced coil, redstonia. These Anori crystals, iron in the laser. Okay, well, I got a lot of lasering to do. Let me go ahead and get that all set up. I'll make all these different items. Yeah, let me get to it and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. Well, the empowerer is different than I thought it was going to be. So we ended up making this empowerer item, and you can right click a thing on there. So it kind of just displays it. But the way this is set up, the way this works, you have to have display stands, which goes in the recipe to making the empowerer. You have to have display stands well, I guess 3 blocks away, 2 blocks of space between them, on all 4 cardinal directions. The display stands have a power, an internal power buffer of 800,000 RF. So these all require power, all 4 of them. And then I guess they transfer the power over to the empowerer with the items. It's kind of like Thaumcraft Infusion in a way, almost, kind of, sort of, not really, but in a way. Anyway, we need a way to power that. We still don't have a great power system set up. So I'm just going to go and steal this 25 million RF that we have set up over here. And I'll set this down. I haven't tried this yet, so I don't really know how this thing works, but I imagine it'll be quite straightforward. Okay, so there we go. Looks like things are happening. Those are getting a nice power buffer. I don't know how much power it takes. You can do it apparently 1 diamond at a time and then make the block, or you can do the unpowered block by itself, which is what we're doing right now. Yeah, we're doing this recipe. So the crystal block, which is a diamond block with the laser thing. Oh, something just happened. Okay, there we go. So that's not so bad. So we'll go ahead and set up another one of these so you guys can see how that works. So you just put, you just right click one item on there at a time, and then clay block. So it's clay block, 2 clay balls, and then a light blue dye, and then the crystal block, uncharged one. So how are we doing on power? Okay, so it's using like 100 RF per tick per thing. All right, so that's not so bad. Yeah, it just takes a minute. Okay, so once we get those things, yeah, we should be able to make the experience solidifier, and then we can go ahead and check that out. All right, guys. Well, I went ahead and I made this experience solidifier. Let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. So it's got the picture of the solidified experience on the side. It's got whatever this is. Maybe that's the thing you can pipe in and out. I'm not sure. Yeah, we got the experience on 3 sides, and we got this different icon on the back side. Okay, so you right click on there. Yeah, we got all these different buttons, it looks like. All 64, 50, 30. Okay. So I have some solidified experience on me, and if I right click on this, you can see there's orbs being generated, but I'm not getting any levels, right? Yeah, that's because the experience solidifier is actually collecting those orbs and it's making new bit of solidified experience. So if you want to use experience near this thing, you need to give it a redstone signal, and I think it stops doing that. And then I can collect the experience myself. So I'm up to 5 levels now. Now if I right click on the experience solidifier, I can say all, and I'll turn all my levels back into the solidified experience, and there we go. We have these guys back again. But yeah, without that redstone signal, it'll just pick up the experience nearby, which is really awesome, and turn it into the solidified experience, which is what we're really looking for. So then we can pipe out of this, I assume, just using item conduits from Ender.io, and we can go into like one of those deep storage units, whatever. I forget what the item was called. We have the ones for the quantum storage unit. These things, this can hold like, I guess 2 billion items or something stupid like that. And it's not super expensive, so we'll probably be piping that into one of these things just to hold a ridiculous amount of experience for us. Yeah, I think this is going to be really, really cool. But I don't think we're going to have enough time to actually get the rest of the Blaze Farm hooked up to date, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to get the power over here and all of that. Do we want the Blaze Farm powering itself? That could be kind of cool. Since the Blaze is going to be dropping Blaze Rods, we could pump those Blaze Rods into, I don't know, some kind of a furnace, some kind of a generator, whatever. And then I'll just power the powered spawner once again. I don't know if we're going to be able to generate enough power to be able to do that or not. Maybe we'll have to have an external power supply, or maybe we'll just go over to like windmills or solars, or I don't know, one of the more boring power production options in this mod pack. We'll have to see. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to go and wrap it up here for today. I had a lot of fun playing around with some of these new things. Actually, Additions is a pretty cool mod. There's still a lot of stuff in there that I don't know about. I'm still learning about it all the time. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.